¿Qué tú dijiste?
Que si tu hijo recibe mi dinero, tiene que recibir mi educación.
Es no tu hijo. Es no tu hijo.
Why are you knocking off already?
Because if I'm in a relationship with you, I can't even do that to you, man.
Okay, so just for context, everyone watching, this man's a streamer. He's having an argument with his partner who has a child. He's obviously acting as a stepfather, paying for certain things and trying to discipline the kids.
And no, it's not even that. I'm saying, yo, if I discipline your son and you push my head, it's not your son. I'm not saying I'm gonna hit you, but I'm gonna shake the shit out of you. That's a song. That's a song. It's not reality. It's a song.
No haga
¿Y
eso.
qué me importa? ¿Qué me importa? Voy a romper ese. Voy a romper
Nancy,
ese.
todo el mundo, chat, excúsenme, la gente que está mirando, pásame la computadora.
No.
Pásamela.
No.
Pásamela. Y te voy a decir algo. Si tu hijo recibe mi dinero, yo como su padre tengo que dar educación o tú te buscas otro hombre. Mira, y ese disparate que tú hiciste aquí en directo, aquí tú estás loca, pero tú no estás viendo la cantidad de gente que hay. ¿Cómo tú vas a hacer eso? O sea, yo puedo ser su padrastro para suplirle sus necesidades.
Tienes que respetar
Escúchame lo que te estoy hablando, escúchame. Él puede ser mi hijo para yo suplirle sus necesidades, pero en cuanto a respeto, él no puede respetarme. Tú como su mamá tienes que enseñarle eso. Porque ahora mismo yo vengo siendo su papá, porque su papá, de verdad, su papá biológico, no está aquí. Entonces tú tienes que entender eso. Eso no son cosas que tú tienes que hacer. Y yo creo que después de esta vamos a terminar. Porque yo no voy a tolerar esto. Yo estoy tratando de darle educación, suplir sus necesidades, enseñándole valores como hombre. Porque aquí el único hombre en esta casa, por lo que yo veo que tiene valores, soy yo.
Hey, and I love how he did that too. He's like, so what's going on? So when I discipline him, I'm not his father. But when it's time to pay for all the shit for him, I'm his father. That's cool. That's good. So he's gonna have lack of respect for me. Oh, I can't say shit, but I can pay for everything. And I love the fact and the tone of what he, like, how he used, the tone that he used to say that. No, listen to me. Listen to me. All the people are looking at you. You're looking crazy, my girl. The way he did that, cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah, so I'll play the devil's advocate. I don't know what the interaction was or whether or not he's fair. You know, there's some step parents who come into the picture and treat the biological kid of their partner unfairly. And so that could be the situation, okay? So I just want to give that caveat out there because it could be that.
That's fair. That's fair.
And I would expect, the biological, because how many stories do we hear about like the biological mom or the dad letting their partner treat their own kid like trash? Mm-hmm. Right? We've heard stories like that where they 100%. Literally off the kid or 100%. Beat them or whatever, 100%. And because they want to be with them. So that could be that situation. I'm not saying it's not, but under the assumption that it's not, because we don't know enough.
We don't know.
Yeah, I think it is unfair to pull that card very conveniently when he's trying to handle some level of disrespect. It's one hand where you want the person to be involved and to, take up and assume the responsibility, but then you want to pull it's not your kid when it's convenient. That's incredibly hurtful for someone who's genuinely trying to be there. And two, it just undermines their legitimacy completely, not just between each other, but also to the child. Because if the kid's gonna see you reprimand him and say, yo, that's not your kid, that already plays in the psyche of folks. And I think also doing that on the stream in front of everybody is also a pretty horrible look.
I'm petty. In a relationship where you say some shit like that to me, he's no longer my son. Don't ask me for shit. And that's probably like the end of the relationship at that point. Because if I cannot be involved and I cannot be like this, if in my house, I cannot be the man of my house and be like, impose my own rules and stuff like that. Like, this little nigga got more power than me because I can't tell him shit. The relationship is over. We live in this place together. Oh, he's not your... I am sorry. I beg you my finest motherfucking pardon. And I assume a lot of shit, right? I think like it's either Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic. I think it's Dominican Republic, right? In the accent. I think so. Whatever. He's the man of the house, so he pays for a lot. Because that's how the gender roles are like that, right? So you're going to have all that. I'm taking you out, taking care of you, taking care of your son. You're going to turn around and tell me this not my son? I expected that from him. But you as my partner, he's not my son. You're not my girl. Get the fuck out.
You done? You out?
No, she is. If it's not my house, I'm out. No, because I cannot. Hey, no, senor. No, senor. No puedo.
There's actually like a lot of stigma surrounding being a step parent. I hear all the time from people. You hear it all over the place. Like, oh, don't get with somebody with kids or whatever. And then, sometimes some of the fears that they'll mention is it'll never be okay, you know, at the drop of a dime. And I feel like this story kind of confirms that stereotype a little bit for some folks. How do you feel about the idea of being a step parent?
I don't. If that would happen, like that's not an issue. That's not an issue that I got. You know what I mean? I would. But if that's how you're gonna act, okay, we're no longer something. You best believe, because I cannot be respected. I'm also human in this. So I'm not only a stepfather, I'm a step everything. I'm a step person in the house. I'm not even a person. I'm a step. You're walking all over me.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's crazy to demand someone to have maximum buy-in, but zero power.
I have to give all. What's his name? John Legend. I give all of me, but I get nothing. I can't say nothing. Nah, B.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm at work right now. My boss can do everything, but I can't do shit. Nah.
I think this. If I was to take on the role of a step parent, I would take it very seriously. And I almost feel like as a step parent who cares, you almost overcompensate because you want that child to see you as their own parent. You can imagine there's a lot of barriers to that entry because you're not the biological parent. You know there's a longing they're going to have for that. So you're almost trying really hard to mend that relationship and kind of instill that part of you in that whilst being very understanding and patient. At least that's how I would imagine myself in that situation.
What I dread is the kid telling me, "You're not my dad." That's the thing that hurts the most for me. You do all that thing for that kid, and it's funny because I thought about those things, even though I'm not in no situation, but I'm like, yo, what if I was in a situation where I was a stepfather and then that kid's like, "You're not my dad." I have the response to that. I do. The response would be, "No, I'm better than your dad. I chose you. Now you're gonna go back to your fucking room and not talk." Yes, of course.
Okay,
that's good.
I cringe so hard at that.
Yeah, of course. Of course. That's crazy. But the thing is,
so hard.
Yeah.
I actually imagine myself in that situation. I'm like, I feel like it's the worst response. But
it is. You're not helping anything if you're saying that. Yeah. But now it's coming from her mom.
Yeah,
I feel like a lonely feminist. No allies in this bitch. Yeah. I'm alone. Yeah. That's crazy.
I'll say I don't think I'd share the same fear because I think in arguments and in a relationship that's forming like that, there's probably going to be strenuous moment. And kids sometimes go, it would still hurt. I think the thing that would make me the most is that I could never fill that void to a substantial degree that they feel with their biological parent. I think that would mess me up much more. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, you want to be able to provide that. And if they're still having that longing so badly, where they're still feeling empty, it's like, oh, I failed after all this trying. I think that would eat at me.
I understand the sentiment.
Because, kids, sometimes when they get angry and they get mad, they just saying shit. And, it's different for me when I'm talking to a kid because I just recognize, they just understand concepts. Sometimes they don't understand the weight, even though they know it's going to hurt. They don't understand sometimes the depth of what you're really doing. Now, maybe I'm giving kids not enough credit, but that's why I've personally been my experience. So I don't think I would be as hurt by that. But if a kid, as they're aging, and I've been there for a while, they still feel that deep longing where it can't, and even after interact, I still wasn't enough, then I think I would fail.
Yeah. And someone in the chat said, kids say stupid things. Yes, and I'm petty. I say smart and devastating things. Don't try me, little bitch. Go to your room. Don't try me.